Hey you guys, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome if you're new here. I'm Mindy and this is See Mindy Mom, and today I am participating in sort of a very casual impromptu collab all about how to handle the holidays while you are trying to lose or maintain weight. So stay tuned. I realize that I'm back in my car again and I make a lot of videos in my car. I think it's because typically the natural light is very flattering, although it's kind of at a weird angle where I'm parked, so I had to put my visor up. But also this is a place where I occasionally find myself alone with a few minutes to kill, and so it's just easy for me to pop the camera into the holder and make a video with you guys. About a week ago, week and a half ago or so, maybe 2 weeks by the time this comes out, I don't remember, a few days ago, I did this collab with several other Weight Watcher buddies, and it was tips for WW newbies, like people who are new to Weight Watchers. We knew with the program changes coming on, we were probably gonna have a lot of new people. And I had already planned to make this video, and then just at the last minute, like seriously, less than a week ago, just a few days ago, I sent out an email to those same people and said, hey, I'm going to do this video. I think it's a topic that a lot of people worry about and stress about, so I'd love it if you guys join me. So we have kind of a little mini collab because there were several of those really nice ladies who said, no problem on the short notice, I'm game, I've wanted to talk about this anyway. So be sure to check out their channels in the description box, and you will find a video like this. And what we are talking about today is how we are handling the holidays. You know, how we are handling the holiday season, being on a weight loss program or being in Weight Watchers and just trying to continue to lose weight or maintain weight or minimize any weight gain that we have, whatever our goals may be. And I think this is a topic that stresses a lot of people out, and it has me in the past, and it still does, you know, give me a little bit of anxiety when I think about the month ahead. Right now, it is about 3 days before Thanksgiving. It's Monday when I'm filming this. This will go up on Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving. So I thought it was just a good idea to talk with you guys about some things that I've been thinking about and how I plan to approach the holiday season. And then go and watch those other videos from those channels that are linked in the description box. And hopefully there'll be something for you to take away from those that will help you make a plan of your own. I want to be able to enjoy the holidays and not have to stress about whether or not I'm sticking to my plan or how much weight I'm going to gain or whatever. I mean, on the one hand, I don't want to be so focused on losing weight or maintaining weight loss that I don't actually enjoy some of the things that only come around this time of year for me. But on the other hand, I want to have, you know, a plan for handling some of those food situations that are out of the ordinary for me, so that I'm not, you know, totally thrown, you know, off track during this season. So I want to share with you 3 things that have worked for me in the past and that I plan on using when approaching this holiday season, and I'm thinking about how to, you know, stay on plan, or at least have a plan for how to approach the holiday season. Number 1 and number 2 really go together. First off, I plan to really think about my indulgences and decide what's worth it. And number 2 is I also plan to pinpoint the ordinary days. So during the holiday season, a lot of us have a lot of extra obligations, and a lot of them revolve around food, right? Well, everything from work parties to church potlucks to the cake and cookies and punch that are at our children's Christmas program. I mean, there's all of these goodies sometimes that are brought into our workplaces, and there's the special things, the traditional recipes that we make with our family. There's dinners out, there's, you know, parties and all kinds of things that are not necessarily part of our everyday routine. And it can be overwhelming when I'm thinking about approaching those things. But I really try to think about, when I can, when it's something I know of in advance, I try to think about, is it really worth it to me? Now, let me give you an example that came up last year. Last year, we had a rehearsal at the church, the choir and orchestra, for a big concert that we were putting on. And we were asked to bring a dish to share because we were going to take a 20-minute break and have a little potluck. I just decided that 20 minutes to eat as much as I can of food that I did not prepare, and maybe have a few minutes to carry on a conversation with my friends and then go back and have to rehearse more, that just wasn't worth it to me. You know, it's not that there probably wasn't something that I could have made work on plan. It's not that I couldn't have fitted into my points for the day. It's just that 20 minutes wasn't enough enjoyment for me to justify the cost that I would have to spend in smart points on that activity. So I just brought myself a banana and maybe a yogurt or something, enjoyed a cup of coffee, drank some water, chatted with my friends in the choir and orchestra, and that was that. I just really didn't indulge in that opportunity because it wasn't worth it. That same week, we had a dinner we were invited to at the country club, and we're not country club members, so it is rare that we get an experience like that. You know, it's not common for us. I knew that it would be, you know, a long evening. It was, you know, 3 or 4 hours, multiple courses that I'd be able to enjoy and really savor everything, including the company and the decorations. And so that to me was worth it. That was one that I decided, yes, I'm going to spend my points, even if I go over, you know, this is going to be worth it to me. So when I'm thinking about all of those little, you know, food situations that pop up in the holidays, I try to think about what's worth it. The cookies and punch at my daughter's Christmas program that I would be eating kind of mindlessly while I'm chatting with people afterwards and trying to round up my kids and get out the door, that's not worth it. Special dinner at the country club or special, you know, occasion with good food and good family and good friends like that, those are going to be the things that I mainly focus on. And the other things I'm probably going to pass on. And going hand in hand with that, number 2 is to try to pinpoint the ordinary days. Even though there are going to be lots of days when we're out of our routine and we have special activities and special dinners and parties and luncheons and all kinds of things, there are going to be some days in December that are just our regular typical day. So rather than throw in the towel for the entire month of December and just say, well, I'm going to go over my points this day, I'm going to be off track that day, I really don't want to track on Christmas, I might as well just give up completely for the month of December and I'll start again in January. No. Every day on track, I think, really helps to, at the very least, minimize any weight gain, but a lot of times that spells maintenance, which I'm okay with through the holidays. Pinpointing some ordinary on track days and committing on my calendar to staying on plan and in my points that day will also help me with any kind of unplanned temptations that come along. You know, the people who bring stuff into the office. I work at a church, and in the month of December last year, I noticed that a lot of our very awesome, wonderful community partners and congregational members were sending things to the church a lot. You know, donuts and bagels and cookie baskets and just all kinds of goodies and treats. And if I have a day when I have committed, this is an ordinary day, there's nothing, you know, out of the ordinary about this, I'm going to stay within my points on my purple plan. If I have something come up that I wasn't expecting, it's more likely, because I've already made that commitment to that day, that I'm going to say no to those temptations. Now, if it's something I really want and I want to make room for it, you know, I can cross that bridge when I come to it. But I really think by pinpointing some days on my calendar when, hey, these are days when I plan to stay on track. And when I get to looking at my calendar, it's like 3 or 4 days a week, at least, sometimes 5. There's no reason for me to overindulge. You know, like I would have to actually go out of my way to do that by eating stuff I wouldn't normally eat because there really isn't a special occasion on those days. Now, to help me with this endeavor, I'm actually going to use a paper calendar. Yes, I know that digital calendars exist, but I want a month view. I want like a 10,000 foot view of the month. I want to see the whole month laid out in front of me. And I'm going to jot down all of those food related events, the ones that are worth it and the ones that are not. And the ones that are worth it, I'm going to mark on my calendar, and the ones that are not, I'm going to leave alone, but they're there so that I know they're there. And then the other thing I'm going to do is pick out some ordinary days, you know, maybe put a sticker on them or a star on them or something and just say, these are the days that as of now, I'm committing to stay within my plan. Now, I know plans change and something may come up that's totally worth it to me. And this isn't, you know, going to be a hard and fast thing. You have to be a little bit flexible, especially during the holiday season. But I just feel like really getting a look at the month and choosing the days when I'm going to indulge and the days whenever I am going to stay perfectly on plan. I think that's going to help me commit to just not throwing in the towel completely throughout the entire month of December. And the third thing that I am going to do is commit to movement that I love. I think it is hard enough with the schedules that it's hard enough any time of the year to commit to some kind of exercise regimen. It's easier to just kind of let it slide in the month of December because the holidays can be stressful and we do have lots of extra obligations, and some of them don't even involve food, right? We're doing the shopping and the decorating and we're cleaning the house for company and stuff like that. So it can be a pretty stressful time and it's easy to put exercise on the back burner. But that's why I think it's important to go back to what we love, all right? So I don't love working out in the gym, and I am not going to force myself to go to lift weights or something in the gym during December. I love to walk and to jog. And last year I did a run streak. That's where I committed to jog at least 1 mile every day between Thanksgiving and Christmas. That's very accessible to me. That is sort of the least common denominator when it comes to exercise for me. 1 mile jogging. I can do that in like 10 or 12 minutes, depending on my pace. And it gets my heart rate up, gets me usually outside, but I have a treadmill if I need it. So that is something that I can commit to. It's also something that I enjoy. So it's not really daunting for me to think about sticking with this exercise regimen. I'm going back to what I love, which is running and jogging, which is going to make it easier for me to stick to some kind of movement and activity during this busy season. So for you, maybe it's Zumba classes. You know, pick out some days on your calendar when you're going to commit to get to your Zumba class. Maybe it's water aerobics. Maybe it's walking like me. This is the time to go back to those activities that you love because you're more likely to follow through with it. Okay, y'all, hopefully that makes sense. And hopefully I've given you something to think about. I just think it's really important that we approach this season understanding that there are special things that are going to pop up, and you don't want to go through the season completely miserable, either because you're so stressed and worried about how you're going to work all these indulgences in, or so stressed and worried about what's going to happen at the end of the month whenever you have to pay the piper for having gone off track the whole month. So I think just being mindful and being intentional with our approach to the holiday season can be helpful in that and can eliminate a lot of that unnecessary stress when we already have plenty to deal with in the holiday season. Am I right? Thanks so much for stopping by and tuning into this and for hanging out with me in the mom van. And like I said before, be sure to check out those channels below and see what they're doing and the tips that they have for navigating the holiday season. See you guys soon. Bye.